remember, look around, get connected, and then we remember who we are. However, for me, life is chaotic and noisy. And it's hard to get quiet sometimes, and it's hard to remember the truth. And so I'm going to kind of take a leap of faith here, because Glenda's the one that usually likes to talk about science and about evolution and about things. And I found myself going down that road last night as I was working on my talk. And I want to tell you, I was going, no, I can't go that way, but I'm going to give it a try, maybe a fiasco. So I'm going to talk about today about being human. Not about, what we do as a human being, but actually what is it to be a human being? What is it? Because the Buddhists say to be a human being is a rare and precious gift. The chances of our being a human being are so small compared to anything else we could have shown up as on this planet, that it's a rare gift to walk in the world. Panache Desai says, the job of being human is to remove all the external voices telling you who you are. And the voices that you've listened to all of your life that define you, so that you can listen to your own inner voice, which is the invitation of Kirtana's lyrics, and listen for your own soul song, which is where your purest, most elegant, refined self is. This self beyond all of the roles. It's the work of Eckhart Tolle. It's, matter of fact, Kirtana is the musician that often opens for Eckhart Tolle when he's on the road doing his workshops and his work. They have a very tight bond. But basically, this is the idea. We've got to get quiet enough, be still enough to ask ourselves, who am I? Beyond all of the knowledge that we've accumulated, I like the invitation. You don't have to read Lao Tzu or Rumi or be a Christian mystic or any of those things, because every one of us has within us the capacity to know the truth of our being. That's my invitation. That's my guidance for today. We all can know who we are, you see, but we just have to get quiet enough. And in my noisy, complex, chaotic, complicated world, I get sidetracked by all of what's going on, that what Eckhart Tolle would call the surface stuff of life, and I am not looking deep to the what's really under that, which is my soul assignment, my soul journey. So I need to get quiet enough, because you know what? I'm in the world in a human people suit. I'm a body, I'm a mind, I'm a soul. And this time around, I've got a human body, right? So I have to be quiet enough to remember and recognize this incredible gift of precious human birth. Because being human is extraordinary. It really is, folks. Alan Watts, he says, human beings are the only ones that reflect. We think about thinking, and we know that we know. We know that we know. We're meaning-making machines. That's what we do, folks. And by the way, you'll like this, Glenda. He also says humans are the only ones that wear clothes. Well, think about it. Isn't it true? We're the only ones that adorn ourselves. Other things come naturally adorned, like birds and that pelican that you saw trying to catch that fish, right? We're the only ones that wear clothes. Yeah. So this idea that we are meaning-making creatures, that we are creative and inventive, and that we have the capacity to actually think about who we are in the world is a tremendous gift. It's a tremendous gift, because who we are radiant expressions of divinity. That's who we are. And we just happen to be manifest this time around in human bodies. In human bodies. And this is the thing. Every single one of us is a manifestation of the entirety of the universe. Carl Sagan says we're made of stardust. Yes? We're made of stardust. We've always been stardust. We're expressing right now as human beings. We've got very important work to do. Let me tell you, I want to know my life counts for something. I want to make a difference in the world. Don't you? I want my human walk in the world, my soul song, to be a powerful one. And I know you do too. But the truth is that when this body, this human body dissolves, guess what? I'm still going to be that same stardust beyond all concepts of time. That's who we are. What happens is we get stuck in the drama of our human experience, and then we don't remember that we are this essential essence. We are the spark of God. We are the essence of God expressing. That's really who we are. And we express through the qualities that we bring forth. Love, compassion, tenderness, kindness, care. All of those qualities are qualities of the divine, and they express through us. I've picked this image because I think it's a perfect example of how we're birthed in the universe. See, we didn't just get plopped down in the universe. See, part of our problem is the reason we don't know who we really are is because Don Miguel Ruiz tells us we've been domesticated. We've been told who we are, right? We've been told we're women or men. We've been told we're, whatever ethnicity we happen to be. We've been told that we're, Americans or Japanese or Hispanic or whatever the heck that thing shows up to be. We've been told all along that we're Christians, that we're Buddhists, that we're Muslims. Somebody has helped us figure out who we are. Because you know what? When we're born, when we're tiny babies, guess what? A tiny baby doesn't have any idea what it's supposed to look like to be a human being. Think about that. A tiny baby has no concept about what a human being is all about, you see? Now, what we're born with is awareness. We're born with this incredible consciousness. And then we start accumulating knowledge on top of that, and this is where we get confused. This is where we start taking on qualities about ourselves that aren't really who we are. Yeah, I guess I'm unlovable. Yeah, I guess I'm unworthy. Yeah, I guess I'm not capable. Yeah, I guess, we start picking up, or yeah, I guess I'm better than all those folks. That's a good one. I guess I'm better than everybody else. Yeah, I guess I'm more spiritual than you are. See, we start picking up all this junk, this accumulated knowledge about who we think we are. We start observing other human beings in our life, our tribe, right? Whatever our religious affiliation is, we start observing all these other human beings. Go, that must be what I am. I must be one of those. And so we start taking on these qualities or these identities, and none of them are us, really. Not any of them are us. They're all projections of whatever we're seeing out there, not really who we are. See? Who we think we are is who we've been taught to be as human beings. And that's the truth. And it can get very tricky because some of this domestication that goes on when we're picking up this stuff from all our projections out there into the world, people projecting their ideas onto us and we absorb them. I was thinking about the Bible. The Bible, I was thinking about the song, Kirtana's song. Domestication, many of us come from a Christian tradition. And many of us have been taught from the beginning that God picked up dust, made a clay figure, and blew breath into it, and he became Adam, right? And that's how human beings started. No. I don't think so. That's not my version. I believe in evolution. And you know what? We kind of have a problem now in our country because the chairman of the Senate Environmental Committee thinks that the Bible is the final word. This domestication concept is the final word for how the world works, this mechanistic idea of how the world works. This kind of domestication and projection about how things work and who we are can get us in trouble. You see how that works? Yes. So this idea that we pick up from our tribes, our families, our institutions, our friends, whoever we're around, we pick up this notion of who we are. All the beliefs, all the ideas, all of the qualities that we think we are, and then we're off and running. And this is where we get in trouble. And this is why we forget who we are. This is why we forget our divinity. And so when we're stuck in the muck of life and we're overwhelmed with whatever is going on, we think we're these human bodies, we think we're these human beings, and we are, but we're so much more than that. We're so much more than that. See, the problem is that when we don't know that about ourselves, we see ourselves as very separate. I'm separate from you, you're separate from me, and certainly we're separate from those other people, aren't we? This idea of humanity starts getting very tricky. We think we're bodies that accumulate stuff. We think we're bodies that accumulate credentials, accumulate money, accumulate accolades. We think we're that, those roles that we play. That's what we think being a human being's about. Ellen Watts says we just think we're, a skin bag with bones and we get to go around collecting things, and that's who we are, but that's not who we are. At some point, we have to stand back and say, is this who I really am? Who am I really? Because if we don't know who we really are at the core of our being, and define it as whatever you want to define it as love, the quality of the divine, as love, as compassion, as caring, as kindness, as beauty, as joy, as harmony, whatever that is, and you think that you are a body with an illness, or you think you are a body with a job, or you think you are a body with whatever, you're missing who you really are. Michael Dowd, thank God for evolution. You'll like this, Carol. Remember, we're not separate creatures on the earth. We're not that. We are a mode of being on the earth. We're an expression of the universe. Who we are is an expression of the allness of God. We didn't come out of the world. We didn't come into the world. We grew out of it. We weren't plopped down here. We weren't a clay figure that just got plopped into the world. No. We evolved out of it. And you know what? There are a whole lot of people that don't believe that concept, that we are part of an evolutionary process. Because everything that we are right now has emerged through billions and billions of years. It's taken a long time to create us, our wonderful selves, our beautiful, radiant selves, who we are, that part of us that knows how to make meaning out of life. Brian Slim says, the earth was once this molten rock, and now it sings opera. Think about that. Think about that. This is what we're getting at here. Out of nothing came opera. He says, you take a great cloud of hydrogen gas, you leave it alone, and it becomes rose bushes and giraffes and human beings. Amazing. We're part of this process. We've come through this. The fact that we're here today, who we are, you know what? We have a huge responsibility. And so I got to take time to stand back and say, wait a minute, that's not who I am. Wait a minute, that's not who I am. I got to remember, yeah, I'm a human being, but I am here with a commission and a job and a responsibility to remember my divinity and to express that. Because I know that the universe is God, universe, source, love, the creator, whatever you call that, we don't care. You can call it whatever you want. But the universe is constantly looking for a way to express itself in the world. And the way it expresses itself is through our humanity today, in the moment. And then I got to say, you know what? I got a halo. I have a halo. I have a light within me that is my divinity, and it's my responsibility. It's my job to let that shine into the world, to be that. I got human work to do. I got to live my radiance. I've got to live my divine qualities. I've got to live the essence of who I really am. I got to make my life count. I got to make a difference in the world while I'm here. I need to be part of the highest, most refined energy of the evolution of the species in my short human lifetime. I need to be loving, kind, and compassionate. And I need to remember that I am that. I am that. That's not reserved for the saints. I am that. I get to be that. And when I can honestly meet my human experience, whatever that human thing is that's going on, and let my light shine through that, when I can do that, then this is where the evolution of the universe through my humanity gets richer, gets more kind, gets more loving, gets more compassionate, because right where I am, God is. And so I invite you as you go forward this week to remember to get still enough to remember the truth of your being, to get still enough to let your human soul song sing through you, whatever that looks like in this particular soul journey. Thank you for listening.